Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, colleagues, friends, similar age, most of us. And I'm Ronald Henry. I've been around in cardiology for a while, and cardiovascular disease. And first of all, let me apologize for the late start. I guess I was told Macoya, but somehow I heard La Jolla. So anyway, La Jolla sends the greetings as well. So here we are. They say your health is your wealth. But I don't think we understand how true that is until it fails us. You know, when it's there, we take it for granted. And you're going along and you say, well, it's a nice talk. Health is a wealth. It's got a little pizzazz to it. But until because of our health, we are no longer able to earn a revenue. Because of our health, we keep paying out, whether it is full pay or co-pay, and can't bring anything in because it's in trying to get our health back, we end up spending for expensive operations and expensive medications. It's only then we see that the money saved is being challenged and not going in the direction that we wanted to go in. Now, and that's why the cheapest way to treat with those diseases is to prevent the big spend, to try to prevent the disease from happening. Now, as I'm sure there's no time like the present to start, and so I want to re-emphasize to you that even if you had not been doing the right things all along, it's never too late to start. And that's the first thing. Now, of the many things you could do to prevent heart disease from happening, there are few things that will both help you and put money in your pocket at the same time. And the biggest thing to both help you, prevent you from getting heart disease, and put money in your pocket is to stop smoking. The moment you stop smoking, your pocket starts growing. And that is I don't know much about financial health. Somebody's going to come here who knows about financial health and tell you about that. But here's what I know. I know that stopping smoking will put money in your pocket. So this is something that is universal. But not only is that so, I want you, many of us who don't smoke, live in houses with people who smoke. No, I ain't breaking up nothing. I'm not saying to start no fight. I'm not saying to look for somebody who don't smoke. But I am saying it's very reasonable if there's a caring relationship, if there's a household of people who care for one another, that one could and should ask the smoker, say, here now, when you're doing that, do it outside. And there is no reason to not do it outside, even if a person is challenged. Whether it's a son, whether it's a wife, whether it's an uncle or a grandfather, well, you know, Pops, if you're strong enough to smoke that, We organize a door that you could walk outside and do it. Because it's not just the person who smokes. It's also the secondhand smoke. It's the smoke that lingers in the atmosphere. People sometimes wonder if we're making too big a deal about secondhand smoke. Well, let me tell you what we now know. What we now know is that even the smoke and the smog and the particle matter from the traffic jam you had coming inside here, over time adds up. In other words, the pollution in the atmosphere, we now have good data, also contributes to heart disease. So if that is so, and that is just from the stuff that is out there in the atmosphere, how much so from the smoke that is trapped inside the house? So there's really no reason. Even we'd like to think about the good old days. Remember the good old days. Wood fire inside of the tapia hut. Smoke, wood burning in an enclosed environment. Those things belong outside. When it's in there, in certain parts of India where that is still common, they have the highest incidence of heart disease. So it's been well shown, and I want you to take a stand. If there's love, I would love for you to go outside to smoke. Now, so that's the first take home. Because it's cheap, generally puts money in your pocket. The second take home I want to leave you with is the issue of activity. I'm not sending you out to jog, to cause hard work for the next speaker who is coming up to speak. And I'm not saying that if you've never exercised, that you should go out and try to become an aerobic or enthusiast or start a pump iron over age 60. But here's what I am saying. I am saying that once you could walk about the house, you need to set as your goal walking for half an hour, 5 days a week. Half an hour, 5 days a week. Better in the morning than in the evening, but whenever you could make it, make it. It's half an hour, 5 days a week. Now, what does that do for you? Many people focus on their weight. And many people start an exercise program, and then they get into it, they're feeling good. The more they do it, they go a little faster. They start over 3 days a week, get up to 5 days a week. Next thing you know, they find they're breaking a sweat. They say, yes, I'm going good. Then they get on the scale, and the scale they move. So they say, all right, they go back out, they do it again, they get going. People start to tell them, hey, you're looking good, girl. Ah, you're looking waist down, this, that. But they get on the scale, and it only gone down by 1 pound or half a kilo. Or say, well, so many people get frustrated that they then stop exercising. Well, if this is you, has this ever happened to anybody here? Where you're exercising and you don't see any weight go, you say, well, what happened, man? Well, let me tell you, a lot is happening. Because whether you see the scale dropping or not, the destination is in the journey. In other words, 70% of the benefit of exercise comes not from the weight loss that you see on the poundage. 70% of the benefit comes from just doing it. You change your metabolism. You hear about the good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. The good cholesterol doesn't start going up. The bad cholesterol start going down. You hear about the metabolism changing. That starts changing. The reason people are looking at you and telling you you're looking good is because they're seeing the belly fat starting to go, even if muscle coming up somewhere else. Lose the fascination with the numbers on the scale. When they come down, they come down. When they don't come down, they don't come down. It doesn't matter. You are still getting the benefit. Furthermore, of all the fancy treatments there are, and there are many, and many of them expensive, to prevent Alzheimer's, few of them do more than exercise. Exercise is as good a treatment at preventing or slowing down what they call minimal cognitive impairment. That means I'm losing my memory, I can't do things that all of us know about, right? But it's going a little faster in some than others. Exercise. No, exercise will not put money in your pocket like stopping smoking. In fact, exercise might cost you a pair of sneakers once a year. So it's not entirely free, but it's the closest thing you could get to it. And you don't have to be going fast. It is important that you at least walk half an hour and you do it 5 days a week. And carry the grandchild with you. Carry, because there's nothing like developing not just the camaraderie, not just the shared experience, but you training them, putting in the head somewhere in the back here that they're going to be physically active. They're going to leave the smartphone and the tablet and the thing behind and engage in a physical activity. So that's the second thing. And the third thing I want to leave with you is the idea that there are a number of items of fake news going around. A lot of people come, they try their best, but they end up, because we have information, it's an information day and age, people can get on the internet and they get all kind of information. It's hard to tell what is right and what is wrong, especially everything looking so right. And I ain't talking about US politics here. One of the big things you will see when you go on the internet or when you hear a lot of alleged gurus talking is the wonderful benefits of coconut oil. Nobody talks about it in medicine because it's becomes suddenly so controversial. Huh? And everything from Alzheimer's to belly fat to if you drink coconut oil, you'll get handsome and you will this, that, and there are many good things to be said about coconut oil. But I want to leave you with this. If you have heart disease, or if your cholesterol level is high, which means that you are at risk for heart disease, coconut oil is not for you. I want to make that clean and clear. I know plenty of people here are going to be vexed with me for saying so, but I can't help it. My mother bring me up to tell the truth. God bless her. Coconut oil, yes, raises your good cholesterol, but it also raises your bad cholesterol. I want to tell you, it's good for a lot of things, you know. When you see starving little kids with their bones showing and things, and they're undernourished, one of the greatest wonder foods you could give them is coconut oil. They strengthen up, Last night I drove in to my house late in the night, and my wife was with me, and she said, "The dog's looking nice, eh?" I said, "Yeah, man, I find it looking healthy and good." She said, "Good." I gave them a teaspoon of coconut oil in their food, and it's true, the coats are shiny, they look nice. It does a lots of wonderful things. But a treatment that is right for undernutrition is unlikely to be right for overnutrition. And cholesterol dominated heart disease is a condition of overnutrition. I ain't saying you're eating too much, but I'm saying there's more going in than coming out. And coconut oil is the most saturated fat on the planet. Somewhere between 80 and 90, 98%, depending on which type you have, is saturated fat. Coconut oil has more saturated fat than butter, or lard, or bacon. No. True. If you eat butter, it will raise your cholesterol faster than coconut oil because butter is an animal product. And animal products raise your cholesterol faster than plant products. So that is good. True. Coconut oil, if you use extra virgin, if you use cold press, has lower saturated fat than traditional produced coconut oil. But what's the difference? You're talking between something that over 90% saturated fat to something that is 82% or 88% saturated fat. It's still the most saturated fat on the planet. So people, the coconut oil that you have at home, give it to the person who underweight and not putting on, the person who they used to call magabone, the person who is not eating enough, the person, and the people who are well nourished, who might be diabetic, who might have heart disease, keep it away from them. If you remember nothing else that I tell you today, I beg you, please remember that. And there's one more thing I would like to tell you, and I would say because we could talk about heart disease for a long time, I would prefer to spend any more time answering any questions you have. So, by all means, to the extent that there's time, I'd like to encourage you to do so. So the last thing I want to share with you in terms of the things that you can do. We talked about stopping smoking and discouraging smoking in the people in your house and sending them outside to smoke. We talked about exercise and encouraging your grandchildren to come walk with you so that they can develop the habit from early. We talked about the role of coconut oil. It's not whether it's good or bad. It is that who it is being taken. It's good for some people, it's bad for others. And the people it's bad for are the people who are at risk of heart disease. And the last thing I want to make sure I tell you, because it is so commonly a problem in our society. People, and it is one of the biggest fake newses. There's nothing, people, I guess a lot of people were scared by the earthquake, because earthquake scares people. But it seems to me that earthquake, the fear that people had from the earthquake, is a joke to the fear people have from statins. You know, it's the most amazing thing. People dropping down, boom, boom, bam, boom, right, left, and center from heart trouble. They're quite happy to take coconut oil because somebody said it will shrink the belly fat, maybe it will. And nobody forget to tell you that it actually raises your bad cholesterol. But finally, you go to your doctor and he tells you, he says, listen, your father died from heart disease. Your mother had angina. Your sister had a stent. You don't have sugar. Your cholesterol going up. Listen, you need to bring the cholesterol level down, and you need a drug called a statin. Now, of course, so the doctor says he statin and he writes a prescription for you. You could pay for it and get a fancy one. You could take the CDAP one and get it for free. Your choice. But of course, you mustn't trust the doctor. Go to the person who knows the best. That is the lady who living over the fence, right? So you go on to the lady over the fence and you say, my doctor say, so you need a statin. What do you think? And she tell you how bad it is. She tell you how it go mash up your kidney, which is not true. Statins do not damage the kidney. They say it go mash up your liver. It is true that statins, if you keep taking higher and higher doses, there will come a dose where the blood test for your liver function will go up. But then all your doctor will do is cut back the dose and everything will come back down without any permanent damage. They will tell you, boy, you know Jamie get cancer from that. Statins do not cause cancer. I hear it has caused Alzheimer's. Statins, half of what people call Alzheimer's is something called vascular dementia. That means that cholesterol blocking up the artery in your head. And statins will help unclog that and prevent what looks like Alzheimer's. So I say to you, I spend a lot of my hours when I'm working in the hospital fixing and cleaning out people's arteries and the heart. But the general practitioner who across the corridor from me and writing prescriptions for statins is saving more lives than I am. And the time it will take me to clear out one artery, he done write a whole heap of prescriptions and save more lives than I have saved. Statins have saved more lives in this world than bypass surgery. I say to you, people of Trinidad and Tobago, the heart attack capital of the Caribbean. By the way, do you know that Trinidad and Tobago, back in about 10 years ago, had the distinction of having the highest mortality rate adjusted for age, the highest mortality rate for heart disease in the entire Americas, higher than United States, higher than Canada, higher. We have been living in the heart attack capital of the Americas. Now, we are no longer at the top of the heap of countries with heart attack, but we dropped a second. Would you like me to tell you who is now number one? Number one in all the Americas is now Guyana. So you are living just to be Trini, and just to be alive, and just to be an adult puts you in a high risk. In my estimation, the reason we have started to decrease is because those who can't afford the statins now could get it free. Those who can't afford the insulin could now get it free. Those who couldn't afford the pressure medicine could now get it free. And everything you say, he pushing CDAP. The answer is yes. Because it is better to use the one you could get. They say if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. Right? The chairman just said mustn't sing old-time tunes, so I wouldn't sing it. I will leave it as a talk. So the point I want to say, though, is that lose the fear of the statins. They are your lifesavers. And how long should you take it for? You should take it for just as long as you plan to take your pressure medicine. How long should you take it for? You should take it for just as long as you plan to take your diabetes medicine. Because the reason you're taking your pressure medicine is to prevent heart disease. The reason you're taking your diabetes medicine is to prevent the complications of diabetes, and the most common cause of premature death in diabetes is heart disease. So now you're taking your diabetes medicine. Well, for heaven's sake, take your cholesterol medicine too. So with this, I would like to leave you with a few things that I hope you will take home, that you will be empowered. I'd like to leave myself available for any question that might be asked if there are a couple minutes, and you just want to raise your hand, I'll be happy to. And if not, then I would say thank you very much for your attention. Oh, there's one person. I see two. Maybe. Oh, we have a mic here. Right, okay, great. So we have a mic coming up. You don't have to ask about something I talk. If there's anything you want to ask about heart disease, I'm quite happy, or hypertension, I'm quite happy to answer. Yes, ma'am.
One quick question, cod liver oil. Is there any dangers in taking that? I've been taking it all my life since I know myself, and I'm still taking it. And the last time I've been to a doctor, he said, change it from the normal one to the high strength. And I have been taking it almost all my life. Is there any dangers?
So cod liver oil, just to tell you the question, cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is an important source of what are called omega-3 fatty acids. Now, these fatty acids, which is the oily, the cod is, which is ocean fish. Many ocean fish have oils. The oil that fish produce is a special type of oil. It's called omega-3 products. And yes, cod liver oil is great. Take cod liver oil. You don't have to, you could use cod liver oil to get your omega-3. You could use, there are omega-3 products that sell as omega-3. I will tell you that, or you could just eat fish. You know, we live on an island and have fish. You could eat fish, and you will get the fish oil out of the fish. So whichever one you want. People who are strict vegans and don't eat fish, you can get omega-3 from omega-3 capsules. If you're going to buy the omega-3 capsules for helping your heart, please buy omega-3. Please do not buy 369. There are benefits to the 369, but for the heart, it's the 3. In fact, for the heart benefit, the 679 actually dilutes some of the effect. So if you want it for the heart benefit, it's 3. And if you don't want that and you're a vegan, you could get some omega-3 from flax seeds. So all of these are options, and they don't interfere with the statins. So do not stop your statin because you're taking omega-3. If your doctor prescribes a statin for you, it's because you need it. Yes, sir.
Doctor, my name is James Campbell. I'm 81 and counting.
All right.
All right. You talked about what it was.
It's all right. Don't slow.
Yeah. But one of the things I'd like to know, over the years, I haven't had any medical problem. But as I'm getting older, it seems as though a lot of things is coming through now. Now, a couple of years ago, I had surgery. I lost a kidney. Yeah, I lost a kidney.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And from the doctor, I realized that the kidney was dead within me for the longest while. I had no signs. I had no problems, health problems or otherwise. And I want to know if there is any signs that a person can probably distinguish or or realized during the course of time that would probably cause you that kidney problem.
All right.
Another thing you spoke about Alzheimer's. Is there any local or ordinary signs that people within certain age, whether young or old, would realize or can understand that, hey, something is going wrong and I gotta look out for Alzheimer, I don't know, or later in life?
All right. Okay, thank you very much. So, Mr. Campbell asked about kidney disease and Alzheimer's. I'm going to answer that in the context of heart. Yeah, because there's a lot you could say about kidney disease, a lot you could say about Alzheimer's, but we'll leave that for when those people are talking. What I'll say about kidney disease is, remember, you could, if you have healthy kidneys, you could donate one, right? And to somebody who needs it and still live a normal life. So it's not the end of the world if you've lost one kidney. It's fine. You'll do well, provided you know why you lost it. Because if you lost it because of something that is peculiar to that kidney, then fine. But if you lost it because of something that affects both, then not good. And in the context of what we're talking about now, high blood pressure destroys your kidneys. Keep your blood pressure down, and if you suffer with high blood pressure, for heaven's sake, get a blood pressure kit, and maybe 3 times a week, measure it yourself, write it down, get used to what it is, what's a normal blood pressure. You want to see, and when you're looking at these two figures, the top and the bottom, long time we used to feel that the bottom figure was the one that was causing the damage. Well, it's not. It's the top figure that causing the damage. We used to look at the bottom figure because the top figure was hard to follow. The top figure used to swing all over the place. And the bottom figure was kind of more steady. So it was an easier thing to remember. But it is not the more important thing. So measure your home blood pressure. Keep the top figure under 40 all the time. Forget this long time story about 100 plus your age. So, Mr. Campbell, you're 81. Your top figure of systolic pressure should not be 181. And anybody who tells you that is okay, that will mash up your next kidney. What you want is the same blood pressure as a grandson. You want the top figure to be under 140, and the lower the better, and work with your doctor to do that. And if your home blood pressures are the top figure saying more than 140, and when you go by your doctor, he says, well, what I'm seeing here is okay. Show him your figures and tell him, I need to get this under 140. So that's what I want you to do. Alzheimer's, it's very, very difficult to distinguish between Alzheimer's and something called vascular dementia, which is caused by mini strokes. Half of the people who think they have Alzheimer's, well, half of the people who have Alzheimer's don't think they have Alzheimer's. Half of the people who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's don't have Alzheimer's. What they have is vascular dementia. They rarely have a cardiovascular problem. You hear them talking about a heart rhythm called atrial fibrillation. The most common irregularity in senior citizens is atrial fibrillation. A simple ECG will find it. If you have atrial fibrillation, the vast majority of people who have atrial fibrillation need to be on a blood thinner for life. And I'm not talking about aspirin, and I'm not talking about Plavix. Everybody knows about Plavix these days. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about either warfarin, which, yes, is rat poison, or I'm talking about the other two newer ones, which is Xarelto and products. These are one of the three of them you need to be taking. And how long should you take it? For as long as you want to take your high blood pressure medicines. How long you should take it? For as long as you want to take your diabetes medicines. I need to go on. In other words, as soon as you're ready for a stroke, you could stop taking it. There's one more, and then I'll give way to on the thing. Somebody here.
Hi, good afternoon. Now that I'm hearing that coconut oil is high, right, it can cause cholesterol, are there any oils that have lower saturation?
Great. So let me answer that by saying the two oils you should have in your kitchen are olive oil and canola oil. Huh? Olive oil and canola oil. I don't care what the brand is, and I don't care if it's virgin, extra virgin, that olive oil and canola oil. People, I'm gone. By the way, if you see anybody selling doubles, ask them if they could prepare it with canola oil instead of coconut oil, and ask them if they could get you a single instead of a double, so you decrease the carbs. And if you do that, you probably have a healthy doubles. So there can be such a thing as a healthy doubles, but there's no such thing as a healthy aloo pie. Thank you very much.